Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody is doing well, and let's get right into this video. Today I would like to discuss black women, black men. I see so many different videos from both black women and black men on YouTube, and it's becoming to the point where sometimes I find myself laughing, but it's the kind of laughing to keep from despair kind of thing. When you see people that have been brainwashed so much to hate each other to the point to, well, in 2020, but we see this all the time. We say, oh, it's 2020, I can't believe there's still racism, it's 2020, I can't believe you people still act like this, and we call out other races for racism, as we should, and we should stay on the neck of these other races that are extremely racist and promote the white supremacist idea. Absolutely. But we need to check ourselves in this community. I see the recent videos were about the George Floyd death. And may he rest in peace. Much love and prayers to his family. And it's already a difficult situation. And so I think when you approach this kind of subject, you should absolutely approach it with the utmost respect. Be very empathetic and avoid doing anything that can be hurtful, because you never know if his family will watch this. And so the videos I see with black women mentioning him having a white girlfriend, and so he doesn't need to be our problem and this and that, and not all of them are saying it that way. Some of them I have to be fair with the description of it. They'll say it this way, like, black women shouldn't be on the front lines, it should be men out there in the front lines. And I don't know whether I agree with that or disagree with it per se. I mean, it's an opinion. If you are of the mind where, like, the men should be the masculine ones, to be out there taking care of business, and even if women are out there per se, you could say, like, the men should be the front and, take the brunt of the physical altercations and the abuse that's happening from the police, while the women are in the back. I can see where you're coming from. I can go with that. But I think it's also the way you put it. It's the way you put it. There's some black women YouTubers that say things in a very degrading, despicable, unhumanizing way. And I think that's what triggers people, is the way you put things out there. When you put it as in this person's worth is no longer the same because they dated this race, whether we agree with the interracial dating or not should not be the topic of conversation right now. The topic of conversation is black people being murdered by police brutality, police violence, their invasions of the black neighborhoods, and their excessive military operation of policing, their war on the neighborhoods. That should be a topic of conversation. It shouldn't, one aspect of the case that comes out shouldn't sway you from focusing on what's important. Another thing is, it's kind of like almost when you have white supremacists that want to get your attention away from what happened by saying, oh, well, George was a criminal. Okay, he might have been a criminal, but I think what most of it will say is, even if he committed a criminal act, first of all, it doesn't make him a criminal, and that is up for the court to decide what happens to him. It is not up to you, just because somebody committed an offense in the past, to take him down and murder them, right? That will be our response. But it's kind of similar to it when we were like, oh, okay, now we don't want to defend this man because he was an interracial relationship. They didn't know when they killed him that he was in an interracial relationship or not. It didn't seem like they were aware of that. What they saw was a black man, and I think that should be the focus. Now, on the other hand, with the many YouTubers who tend to respond, I saw some of the videos of the responses and I can understand the anger because the anger is justified. However, the generalization of, I think, is dangerous. When you sit there and say all black women, particularly this one YouTuber who was speaking, and at first when he was speaking, I kind of got into what he was saying. It's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But then the women that were commenting, he was like, well, if black women ran to the gym more than they ran their mouth, and it's just like, who are you gonna reach with that kind of conversation? Who are you? The thing is that he also said he doesn't think that what he puts out there is hate speech. And no, I don't agree that it's hate speech because I like a lot of his videos. I checked them out and I even learned a few things here and there from him. But it's some of the times his delivery is very toxic and it doesn't reach anyone. That kind of delivery will reach no one. There's If black women are already angry at black men, whether you agree with the reason for the anger, it's irrelevant. You're not going to be able to reach them or change them or get anything to go the way that you would like it to go if you talk to them in such a disgusting and a negative way. It's also the YouTubers who sit there and talk about black women as if they're just these disposable creatures who are not worthy and they'd rather date white women. So if your preference is a white woman, that has nothing to do with putting down the women of your own race. That's more of the internalized, colonized mind of thinking that this is the race that's superior. So I need to be attached to this race so I can feel like I am good enough. And I think that's what happened. And people don't want to admit this to themselves. They run with blurring the lines with preference. However, it's not preference when you have disdain for these people that are in your own race and you think that being with them is disgusting. If you have those inner feelings towards somebody because of their skin color, then you have internalized the hatred and you're making another race superior to you, therefore you're a part of it. Try not to deny it. No, it doesn't mean that you have to stop dating whoever you're dating, but at least address this hatred that you have within you because it is toxic and you are just furthering the agenda of the white supremacist. Anyway, those are my two thoughts on it. As a scene, I've been cruising around YouTube, just watching a few videos here and there. And anytime I see like what's supposed to be like those woke people, whether it's men or women, black women or black men on both sides, it's always intense hatred. They don't talk with logic or inviting or support. It's always with disdain. And I just don't see how that brings anything. It doesn't bring the community together. And I listen to both. I listen to the men's channels. I listen to the women's channels because I always like to know both sides of the argument. I like to know what people are thinking, okay? Because there's valid criticism. All people can be criticized. No one is a perfect human being. And yes, in a community, sometimes we do have certain attitudes and traits that are some things that can be improved upon and changed, but it's not through hatred. And the message that is delivered from both sides is very hateful and just there's so much disdain towards each other, and that needs to stop. I'd like to appreciate you guys for watching so much. Please do leave me a comment and tell me what you think. Do you agree with what I said as far as the way that these people communicate about each other? And do you agree with the internal racism that is still with us till this day? And how do you think we can go about getting rid of this internal racism that we have kept with us all these years? If you like the video, leave me a like and share. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.